What's better than waking up to a kitchen smelling of fresh baked home bread? Let's make some bread. Come with me. So to make our bread, we'll need a bowl of flour. This is about 2 cups, 2.5 cups, and we'll need some lukewarm water, about 3 tablespoons of oil, and our yeast starter. So what I've done here is I've put lukewarm water, some sugar, about 3 tablespoons to start the yeast. This will make the process much quicker and more efficient. If your water is too hot for a baby, it's too hot for the yeast. Your yeast will die. So let's make bread. To start, we'll add our yeast starter into the flour, all of it. So we need that more than we need regular water. So just add as much of it as you can and mix that in there. I've also put about half a teaspoon of salt, and we'll also add some sugar. So you go ahead and you add that. You don't want it to be too wet in the beginning. So the best way to know how this is really going with clean hands, you're gonna work with your hands and slowly add some oil as you mix. You want the oil, otherwise your bread is going to be dry and crumbly and not good. You want really good moist bread. So just go ahead and mix that in there, and then we're going to add our regular water very slowly, making sure not to make it too wet. This is the best way to work your dough. Okay, so once your dough has reached this consistency, you want to start working towards kneading it into a smooth bowl. So you remember you're doing this with clean hands. To those that say, wear the gloves, this is the best way to do it. This is how. So your dough is coming together slowly. Until you want to work it until it's no longer sticking to your hands. That's why your hands are your best tools. With clean hands, clean short nails. So now that you want your dough is no longer sticking to your surface, I transferred it to a flat surface because it is usually easier to work that way. Then you know your dough is ready, and you can now transfer it to a bowl to rise for at least an hour to an hour and a half. So now that your flour has risen to twice the size, you want to fix it, remove it from your, and so what we're trying to do here is that we're gonna make 2 loaves. So we're gonna split the dough into 2, and then we're gonna shape it. You can just do that in your hands. So it's okay if it doesn't fit the pan, because what's gonna happen is that you're going to let this rise again. before putting it into the oven to cook. So once it's reached the stage and you've shaped it into the pan of your choice, you would put it in a pan and then let it rise again for another 15 minutes before the final bake. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. After baking your bread in the oven for 35 minutes on 180, this is the final result. You hear that crust? Nice and crispy, artisanal bread. What you want to do is not preheat your oven, because that's what I usually don't do. I don't preheat my oven because I find that when I preheat the oven, the bread tends to rise too quickly, making it flat and thumpy. So you don't want to do that. But this is the final product, and you can now enjoy your bread as you like. Okay,